welcome to another episode of the OBS Studio Beginners Guide training course. This is free of charge, and welcome. My name is Andy, and we're going to talk about today is screen capture, and it's a very brilliant bit of kit, this OBS. It has a few quirks which are a little bit annoying. However, once you get over that and you learn about the ins and outs, it does become really good, and you can produce some really good output screens. So let's have a look at one that I did, and then we'll move on to doing the same thing. So this is my travel live stream, and the last episode, this is a chat window in a cell phone. So the chat window is live. I've just typed that in, testing 1 2 3, into my chat window. Now my chat window is located on another screen. I have obviously more than one screen on my computer, and you may find that unless you've got a really large screen, you're going to find it very difficult to put things on the main screen. So I normally have my OBS on the main screen, along with the YouTube channel opened, and then on my other screen to my right I have all of the extras, all the stuff that I'm using, and of course the things are controlled with a Stream Deck. So there is the Stream Deck. This is a little device that you add on, made by Stream Deck Elgato, and it goes via USB, and it can control all of them. The computer can control OBS. You can press a button and change the screens. The chat window here, the white area is this one, and you can see that I can make it invisible. The properties of it, it's set to display 1, which is my other screen, and it will capture the cursor as well. So if I put the cursor over here, you can see that the cursor will appear in the actual final result. But we're gonna capture that in a moment. We're going to do that on the other practice screen. But you can see that could be quite useful, and of course your viewers can see the output really well. So let's go back to the training course screen, which is this one. Of course, because we've been switching screens, we've lost the video, so we have to. This is a quirk. This is a annoying quirk of OBS, I think, mainly. So what you have to do. So what you have to do is right click on the video properties. You have to deactivate and then reactivate, and it allows you to come back on this screen. It doesn't always do that, so it's not something that will happen every single time, and when it does happen, it's really annoying. So maybe it's a bug in OBS, I'm not sure. Anyway, so the cell phone I've already installed, and we can just load that. So there we are. Now it's got a green screen on it, so we have to set the green screen property for the cell phone. As we go, we do the filters, and then we do a plus, and we do chroma key, and it will be set to green. Already set to green, and it should be perfect, and it will show you the background below the phone, below this picture, which I have cut out using another piece of software, which you can find a training course for on the channel. We need to have a window capture, so we're going to set a window capture. So that's a display capture. It will be display capture 2 because we've already got one set up, I believe. But we can name this YouTube chats. it's set to this one, but we need to set it to the other one, the string 1, and you can see that the string 1 has the chat window already set up. This is the YouTube channel set up. Now we need to first of all readjust it. There's no it's a bit annoying because there's no undo. You've got no undo, so you can't undo the last thing that you did, which is a bit annoying. Now you have to hold a key. I believe that it is the Alt key. So if you hold the Alt key, what you need to do is actually just sort of bring the edges into the area of the screen that you want to capture quite precisely. That's about it. That's about right. So having done that, we then need to put it underneath the cell phone, but of course that is at the wrong angle for the cell phone because the cell phone is slightly turned. So there is a way of doing this, and it is again just going into transform on this menu and then edit transform. Now the one that we need is the rotation. Again, it has quirks and it doesn't let you suddenly sort of type in a minus because it just deletes it. So what you end up doing is like doing a 6, but then you have to go in and put a -6, and it should then turn to your anti-clockwise position. Now that is not far off, but it's not quite. It's probably gonna be a 6 point something, 6.3, no, 6.7. How about that? No. And of course, if you press enter, the window closes because it's a close button. So it's not quite there, is it? It's not quite there. It needs to go a little bit more. .9 maybe. We'll go for 7 maybe. Let's go 7. Yeah, 7's a bit better. 7.5. How about that? Well, that's not too bad. That's not quite there. Let's do 7.3. Right, okay. But it's not quite wide enough as well. So we can resize. So resizing, you need to hold the shift key. If you don't hold the shift key or any other key, then when you resize it, it will resize in proportion, and it will change the whole size of the whole thing. Now that is roughly, give or take, not too bad, but it's on top of the cell phone because of these are the wrong way round. So if we move the cell phone up, you can see that it suddenly goes underneath it. It's not quite perfect, unfortunately. I'm not very happy with that, but we can actually just take this down so it's so the edge of it's below there. You can see that the top bit doesn't really line up very well at all. It's off at an angle, so we should really try and get this a bit more perfect. I think probably 7 is a bit ambitious, so let's go back to 6, and let's go for right. So let's take away the lines and see. It's rubbish, isn't it? It's rubbish. but you know, you get the idea. You have to spend some time with this trying to get it correct. Yeah, and I'm a perfectionist, so I should spend all day on this trying to get this right, which is annoying. But, it's not gonna. I wonder if I do a 5, maybe, and do a 5. Let's try a 5. It's probably a bit better with 5 actually, but then we've got this bit here, which isn't wide enough. So, yeah. As I say, if you don't press a key, then it will resize in proportion, and you may not need that. You may want to keep it that size. Anyway, that is pretty good. And then of course you can lock the display. It's not perfect along the top there. It still requires some work. However, it's better than what it was. So that is basically how you capture a screen. And of course, you've seen the whole thing, the video, which is over here, and this is on the second screen. As you can see, my cursor is in that area on the other screen. It's pretty useful. You can do some really good stuff with this. So I hope that's been helpful, and do come back again for another one of these fantastic episodes very soon. Okay, bye for now.